Well, if you're watching this video, there's a pretty good chance that you're in the process of or thinking about overhauling a boat. And that's something that I'm doing right now. I've just kind of started, and I thought maybe it'd be a good idea to make a few videos and share my experience to maybe encourage somebody else to do it or help them out along the way. There's several other videos out there, obviously, on YouTube, people doing the same things. I think Frisco Boaters Garage, something like that, I believe. One of the best ones that I saw. He really did a good job, very thorough. I think he had, I can't even remember how many videos, step by step of what he did, but definitely check him out if this is something you're thinking about doing. The boat that I have is a Citation. It's a 1985 Citation Thundercraft. It's got a 4.3 liter OMC motor with a 800 stern drive outdrive on it, and it's pretty unique, really, the way that whole works. I'll show you guys a little bit about that here in a second. But anywho, I've started tearing the boat apart a little bit, and originally I was just going to replace a section of plywood floor, and I just opened a huge can of worms. I was kind of afraid that's something that might happen, and it's exactly what happened. So I just wanted to show you the boat a little bit and show you what I'm doing. And like I said, hopefully it helps somebody out and be entertaining, to say the least. But I apologize for the camera quality. I'm using my cell phone. I plan on investing in a little bit better camera, but for now, this is what we got, so that's what I'm working with. But here's the boat. Like I said, it's pretty rough shape. Again, I had a small section of the plywood floor that my foot kind of went through a little bit. I tore that out, and these stringers are just shot. The fiberglass job from the factory wasn't the best. One of the major culprits in the rotting of it was this little section of fiberglass right here. Let's see, right there, with that crinkle and fold in it. When water would run down this edge of the stringer, this created kind of a dam right here in this section. And there was also a mouse nest in there when I tore it out. It looked like the mouse had been chewing on the fiberglass a little bit, and who knows how long ago that was. But by that happening, it allowed water to seep into that section of wood, and it's just gone. I stepped on that when I was running around the boat. My foot just crushed that top section there. So I poked a screwdriver in there. It's just gone. There's no wood whatsoever left in there. And then by that, it allowed, we can get up here a little bit better so you can see. If you look right inside of there, there's like a couple of 2x4s of some type, and those are the pieces of wood that the motor mounts are mounted to. And once I stuck a screwdriver in there and realized they're rotten, there's one there, one on that side, I knew that I had a mess on my hands. With this particular kind of motor, and the trim system in that is kind of unique. I've never seen anything like it. This right here is let's see, right there. That's actually the trim. I guess it's the rear motor mounts are kind of like a ball knuckle. I don't know if you can see that or not. That it allows movement. And the way it works is there's a hydraulic ram inside this piece here, and that lifts the motor up and down, which trims the boat. And like I said, I've never seen anything like it. It does have trailer trim to raise the boat, but when you operate the boat, it has to be down all the way. Again, I've not seen anything quite like this. Let's see if I can get a shot here. Oh, there's a knuckle. Oh, where's that? Apologize. Right there. That when you lower the motor, there's another one. Oh, well, it's dark, you can hardly see it. I guess I could get a light and put it on there, but basically there's no type of universal joint that connects the motor or the crankcase shaft to the outdrive. So that's the reason why that has to be down. And then they've got this large rubber gasket here, which allows that motor to move whenever you trim it. It's just weird. I've never seen anything like it. So I'll be replacing that rubber gasket there. And I think I'm gonna go ahead whenever I pull this lower unit or out drive off, I'm gonna replace those knuckles as well. They're a little bit worn. But so that's gonna be a project. Obviously, whenever I replace this wood here in the floor and those motor mounts and that, I'm gonna have to pull the engine, which I hope to get done this weekend. We'll see. I've got a friend supposed to bring over a cherry picker, so if that happens, I'll show that process and what's involved with it as well. Some other things about the boat: it was heavily oxidized. I mean, it had been sitting for a long time. I don't know that he ever really buffed it or did anything with the paint, but as you can see, it's just a lot of heavy oxidation, very little sheen to the boat at all. Like up here, I've wet sanded this upper section, so it shows a little bit more of a shine, but I used 2000 grit wet sandpaper and have sanded it to kind of knock that oxidation off. I've got probably 3/4 of the top section buffed with the first stage of buffing, and with a real heavy buffing compound, and I'm really happy with the results and how it's turned out. I mean, you can just see the sheen comes right back to it. This hasn't been polished or waxed or anything. It's just that first stage of buffing. But again, really happy with the results on that. It's really brought back the shine in it for sure. And I started a little bit on the next section, this colored section. As you can see, again, heavy oxidation. Can't talk. But then right here, I started buffing, and again, I mean, you can see the reflection of things here in the garage. There's a little bit of a white haze from where I've got to wipe off the excess dried up compound. But once that's polished, it's going to look a lot better. I mean, there's still scratches in it, a few here and there, but obviously this looks way better than what it did, for sure. Again, a few other scratches. But like this lower section here, I mean, it's just no sheen. It's dull, hazy. And if you take this on, I mean, don't be intimidated by buffing. You know, first I was doing some reading. You hear, oh, you're gonna go through the paint, and with this gel coat, it's very thick. You hit it with some light 2000 wet sandpaper, and it's gonna save you time on buffing for sure, and just give you a lot better job. But I actually went to Harbor Freight and picked up a relatively inexpensive buffer. I think this thing was $38, something like that, and I think it's well worth the money. I don't know how long it'll last, but for a small project like this, it's worth it for sure. Again, just really happy with that shine that's coming back out of it. Something else with this type of system, the energy of the motor is all in those motor mounts as far as transferring it to the boat. So with that board being rotten that it's mounted to, if those bolts ripped out when you gunned it, essentially this motor could just come flying up through the boat, and that would not be good. So again, I'm going to be replacing all of that. I mean, that outdrive is not mounted to the transom in any way, shape, or form. Again, while we've got that rubber gasket. Also, I have removed the dash. I didn't want to go through and put all this work into the boat and have an old, ugly, dated gauges and dash. So I've labeled all my wires there and got that pulled. The dash, well, it's sitting over here. Let me turn it around here. Again, it's from the early 80s or mid 80s and just very dated, old. I'm gonna replace all of it. I'm gonna get rid of all these fuses here that are underneath each one of the switches. There's fuses over here. I'm gonna put in a, what is it? I believe it's called Blue Sea. It's a stainless steel type of fuse panel with the the bladed fuses, update all that, get rid of them fuses. These old switches I'm going to replace with the toggle switches. You can pick them up cheap from eBay. I mean, they're like 10 bucks maybe, something like that. Look a lot nicer, put new gauges in it. And also there's a video from a guy named David Guyton, I believe is his name. Let me check that. Yeah, David Guyton, Guyton on YouTube. He's got a video called How to Make a Custom Fiberglass Dash. And the process he uses to do that is very simple and the results are amazing. So if that's something you're thinking about doing, I would definitely check him out. And it's actually not fiberglass, it's fleece. And just a really simple process with really good results. But anywho, I'm gonna go ahead and have this trailer too. I'm gonna be taking this boat and removing it from the trailer. I'll make a video on that as well on how I end up doing that. I'm gonna take this trailer and have it sandblasted, get it all repainted. It's not in terrible shape, but it's got its wears, a little rust here and there. We'll get that all cleaned up and redone. Put new bunks and carpet on that. Put new trailer lights on and get some LED lights on there instead of the old incandescent bulb. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting this done and sharing it with you guys, and hopefully it's something you can learn something from and just enjoy the process along with me. So that's all I got for now. Please subscribe, and I'm gonna try and get a video out at least once a week. Keep you guys updated on what's going on.